안녕하세요. 오늘은 찰리와 초콜릿 공장의 비밀 제20장 The Great Gum Machine을 낭독해 보도록 하겠습니다. Mr. Wonka led the party over a gigantic machine that stood in the very center of the inventing room. It was a mountain of gleaming metal that towered high above the children and their parents. Out of the very top of it there sprouted hundreds of thin glass tubes, and the glass tubes all curled downward and came together in a bunch and hung suspended over an enormous round tube as big as a bath. "Here we go!" cried Mr. Wonka, and he pressed 3 different buttons on the side of the machine. A second later, a mighty rumbling sound came from inside it, and the whole machine began to shake most frighteningly, and steam began hissing out of it all over. And then suddenly the watchers noticed that running stuff was pouring down the inside of all the hundreds of little glass tubes and squirting out into the great tube below. And in every single tube, the running stuff was of a different color, so that all the colors of the rainbow, and many others as well, came sloshing and splashing into the tub. It was a lovely sight, and when the tub was nearly full, Mr. Wonka pressed another button, and immediately the running stuff stopped running out of the tube. The rumbling sound disappeared, and a whizzing weird noise took its place, and then a giant whistle started whistling round inside the enormous tub, mixing up all the different colored liquid like an ice cream soda. Gradually the mixture began to float. It became frontier and frothier, and it turned from blue to white to green to brown to yellow, then back to blue again. "Watch," said Mr. Wonka. Click went the machine, and the wizard stopped the whistling. And now there came a sort of sucking noise, and very quickly all the blue, frothy mixture in the huge basin was sucked back into the stomach of the machine. There was a moment of silence. Then a few queer rumblings were heard. They silent again. Then suddenly the machine let out a monstrous mighty groan, and at the same moment a tiny drawer, no bigger than the drawer in a slot machine, popped out of the side of the machine, and in the drawer there lay something so small and thin gray that everyone thought it must be a mistake. The thing looked like a little strip of the gray cardboard. The children and their parents stared at the little gray strip lying in the drawer. "You mean that all?" said Mike TV, disgusted. "That's all," answered Mr. Wonka, gazing proudly at the result. "Don't you know what is it?" There was a pause. Then suddenly Violet Buggard, the groupie gum chewing girl, let out a yell of excitement. "By gum, it's gum!" she shrieked. "It's a stick of chewing gum!" "Right you are!" cried Mr. Wonka, slapping Violet hard on the back. "It's a stick of gum. It's a stick of the most amazing and fabulous and sensational gum in the world." 들어주셔서 감사합니다.